What's going on, my people? I'm Lee Mims. This is another Lee Mims Productions podcast. And go to LeeMimsProductions.com for all your musical needs. And let's move forward with today's topic. Oh yeah, follow me on all social media. Today's topic is about knowing the difference between competition and motivation. Competition and motivation. Now, we're going to talk about this in basically opinion format, not Webster's dictionary. When I think about competition, I think about trying to keep up with somebody. Hence the term, the Joneses, keeping up with the Joneses. I'm sorry if your name is Jones. I'm not talking about you. We're talking about the proverbial Joneses. You know, they get a Cadillac, I gotta get a Cadillac CTS. They get a Cadillac CTS, I gotta get an Escalade. So on and so forth. You know, that type of thing. They get one dog, I gotta get two. They upgrade their wife's ring, I gotta upgrade it twice. And vice versa. Men and women are both competitive. We already see that. That's why we have women's sports and we have male sports. Male sports because, well, everybody has a competitive spirit or has the ability to have it. Just whether yours is on 0 or 1 or it's on 10. But when we talk about motivation, and this is purely opinion. That's what podcast is about. Stating your opinion. When I think about motivation, even talking about motivation, I got a little bit more excited. Motivation is, to me, the fire within that keeps you moving. The fire within that keeps you moving. It's not about what the next man is doing. Although that is a motivator for some people. But here's the problem. What if the next man, or when I say man, it's a dual purpose. We talk about men and women. What happens when the person next to you that you use for motivation is now not doing anything and you beat them? What do? Look for the next person? To me, that's competition. That's not motivation. Motivation is from the inside. It just keeps making you, when you sleep, you're thinking about a thing. When you wake up, you're thinking about a thing. My wife and kids are motivation for me for a lot of things. But if they weren't around, or if I never had them, I would be just as motivated. And maybe I should take that back, because as a family man, I find myself more motivated than I was when I was single, but I always was motivated. I was never in competition with anyone. I was just always motivated for my own drive, my success drive. And my success drive is high because I don't want to be a person who settles. And once I decided I didn't want to be a person who settles, then what do? You're motivated to keep moving to the next level. Now, that doesn't mean I have an insatiable appetite, and I don't recommend that you create an insatiable appetite. I'm okay with the things that I have in life. I'm okay with my family. I'm okay with my career choice. However, if I can make it better for my family moving forward and better for myself financially or emotionally or spiritually, whatever, I'm going to do those things. Hence, the motivation comes from within. But when you add my family to it, it adds more motivation because I'm doing primarily for them as well as myself. But I'm never in competition with the people across the street or the people next door or the boss or the supervisor, immediate supervisor, or I look on a commercial and I just have to have that. After you get to a certain age, you realize, yes, the grass is green on the other side, but guess what? Somebody's probably paying for that water bill on that side. It's probably higher than what I'm willing to pay for. Everything comes with a cost. So I'm motivated for prosperity, and I'm motivated to provide for my family. Prosperous is determined by each individual, or prosperity. Me, I'm not looking for wealthy. I'm not looking for rich. Although if either one of those happened, I would not be upset. That would cure some of my problems financially if I was wealthy or rich, but it may create some other problems. But I'm not looking for wealth or riches. I'm just looking to be comfortable, take care of my family, see a couple countries, see more states, do more vacations, make sure my kids can get a grade A education, make sure my wife is not stressed out about finances. And by that, those are my motivations, and that is what makes me happy. Notice I never once said anything for myself. My motivation is to see my immediate family taken care of. I would like to be in a position to help others, maybe my parents or my in-laws or people close to me, and they may need help. That is my motivation. But never is the fire ignited or kept burning because of competition. First of all, I'd have to care what the next man is doing for me to even be competing. I've never been that person, and that may tick people off because I really don't care about the next man or what he's doing in that fashion. Yeah, I care if you're all right, but I don't really care what's on your plate. I had to use this analogy the other day speaking to a friend of mine, and I said, when my wife makes my dinner plate, I never look at everybody else's and see what's on it, because that plate was made for me. My wife would tell me, hey, I made this plate for you, so she knows how much I'm supposed to take in and what I need and how I will be filled up or whatever, and I put my head down and I go to work. My kids like, Daddy, don't play. Well, I get done faster than everyone else because I'm worried about what's on my plate. I'm not talking, I'm not looking around, and that is analogous to life. I am motivated, but I'm not in competition. And when you're self-motivated, keyword self-hyphenated, motivated, I'm worried about myself and my goals and the things that I want to achieve and the people that I take care of and the people that I serve in my home. When you're in competition, you're worried about that next man. How close is he to your heels? How close is she to your heels? I'm not worried about that. Competition to me with others also breeds negativity. So what happens when I don't get what the Joneses have? What happens? I feel defeated, because that's what happens in competition. You either win or lose. For me, motivation is all about achievement. And achievement can be either success or failure when you're talking about motivation to me. When you're talking about success, and you're talking about failure, that applies to motivation. When you're talking about competition, it's either win or lose, first place, second place, third place, fourth place, that type of thing. So in order to keep within the 365 days of happiness, and it's real, it's true, and it can be achieved, these are things we need to be aware of. Am I competitive, or am I just highly motivated? There's nothing wrong with competition if it's utilized properly, but I would like to think of things as motivators versus I'm in competition with someone, because in order to have a competition, you have to have competitors. And I'm only trying to beat myself from yesterday. I saw that floating on the internet. I'm only in competition with myself. I'm trying to beat my yesterday. And as long as you do that, you can stay upbeat, you can stay positive, you can stay moving, and you feel positive about the strides you're making. Now, you're going to have others that look at you and turn around and say, oh, he think he all that, or she thinks she all that, or... Well, guess what? If you know for a fact you're not looking over your shoulder at your competitors, or you're not looking ahead of you trying to catch somebody, oh, they got a master's degree, I'm getting a doctoral degree. Oh, they moved out to this town, I'm moving out to a better town, my house costs more. Their kid is smart, but I'm going to ride my kid so they can be the smartest, and then I'm going to post the ribbon on Facebook and all that. No. There's nothing wrong with being highly motivated, but it is something wrong with trying to be better than the person next to you. I don't agree with that. I'm not trying to be better than anybody but myself. But keeping within the 365 days of happiness, you must know the difference, or else you will be let down. Because sometimes people are beating you in the competition that you're in, but they're miserable somewhere else. Now you're competing against a ghost of what you think a thing is to be or a person is to be. I'll use Facebook, for instance. You can look on people's Facebook. It look like they're having a stellar vacation. Maybe a stellar couple. Maybe a stellar family. Maybe they're driving a stellar car in a stellar house. Guess what? For all you know, all that stuff is borrowed. Or maybe they have all that and they are just miserable. You know, I've seen all kinds of pictures on Facebook. And I never wonder, is it real or is it not? But a lot of people post what they want you to see because that's what Facebook is about. That's what these social media accounts are about. I'm going to show you what I want you to see. But do we know what really goes on behind the closed doors? No, nobody ever really knows what's going on behind closed doors. So let's just be careful when we're competing against these possibly fictitious characters on these internet social network. Let's be careful of that because you are competing with a facade. How do you do that? You can't beat something that is fictitious. Good luck with that. I hope you've gotten something out of this podcast. The ideals of competition versus motivation. Stay motivated. Don't be a competitor. I'm Lee Mims. This is another Lee Mims Productions podcast. You can find instrumentals that have been played or that you have been listening to throughout my podcast or LeeMimsProductions.com, which is the place for all your musical needs, whether it's TV, whether it's film, whether it's a video on YouTube, whether it's a podcast yourself you're trying to put together. Plenty of instrumentals to fit plenty of sounds and genres. Have a good day. Stay positive. Stay motivated. 365 days of happiness is real and it's true. And it is here and it can be achieved. Don't let anybody tell you any different.